Hello, I'm Attu Jami and you're watching News Pulse on Hornbill TV. Now, headlines. The emergency use authorization for Bharat Biotech's COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin, has once again been delayed by the World Health Organization, said sources. The Delhi High Court has asked the centre and others to file a reply on plea challenging the appointment of the President of the Medical Assessment and Rating Board for the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine. The ED has issued fresh summons to Cabinet Minister of Maharashtra Anil Prabhat in the money laundering case registered against former State Minister Anil Deshmukh and others. Asking the media houses to align with the farmers' movement, Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikait on Tuesday warned that they are the next target of the centre. Even as the number of COVID-19 cases is declining continuously, the nationwide vaccination drive against the disease is going on at a rapid pace in India. India reported 26,041 COVID cases on Monday, which was the third consecutive day when the country reported less than 30,000 cases. India reported 2 lakh COVID cases in the last 7 days, which is the lowest in 2 quarters. For the 5th time, India on Monday administered 1 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses, informed Union Health Minister Manshukh Mandavia. September 28 being World Rabies Commemoration Day, the Department of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Dimapur, in collaboration with Society for the Prevention of Animals, organized a one-day free anti-rabies vaccination day. Dr. K.N. Zubemo, while speaking to Hornbill TV, stressed on the importance of rabies vaccination. As per today's registration, he said that more than 100 dogs were brought for anti-rabies vaccination. Let us get more details from our reporter K. Cristiano Quejo.
Middle School, Duncan Basti, and today's World Rabies Commemoration Day. Therefore, the Department of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Dimapur, in collaboration with Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, has organized a one-day vaccination for animals. And now people are aware, and you see that people are being aware of the importance of vaccination. So we will get to know more details from one of their officials.
Yeah, hello.
Can you please tell us more about today?
Today we this one organize World Rabies Day. That is in order to educate and create awareness to the public, the importance of rabies. And then we want to talk about this rabies, about the fact, not fear. The fact is that it is a fatal disease, and then it's a 90% fatal. But a good thing is that we should not fear about it because it's preventable, because it's 100% preventable if we give vaccination, anti-rabies vaccination to the dogs. Why it is important is that it is not just to protect the animal, but it will, it will protect you from the disease. And then it will also protect the community. This World Rabies Day is commemorated actually coinciding with the death anniversary of Louis Pasteur, a French microbiologist. He did a very good job because he's the one who discovered anti-rabies vaccine. And then because of this, he saved so many lives.
So in this one-day vaccination drive, how many animals have turned up for vaccination? Is it just pertaining to dogs alone, or?
Yes, it is just today we organized this anti-rabies vaccination particularly for dogs only. And then it's so far 150 plus dogs has been vaccinated, and then we are expecting more. Maybe we are expecting at least 400 dogs to be vaccinated today.
Okay, so talking about Nagaland itself, do you think the Nagas need to know more about vaccination and its importance?
Yes, very much. Because see, as of now, like the rabies incident in Nagaland is, unlike other places, is negligible in fact. But what I want to say is that the very recent case is, it occurred somewhere in the month of June. Two person, a mother and a child, succumbed to a case of rabies in Rilan village. So the case has been reported to us through CM office. So immediately we went for, inspection, and then we advised them to confine all the animals, and then we observed for 14 days, and then a mass vaccination was given in the month of July. So still, I am very happy that lots of pet lovers are there in Nagaland, and then many people are coming forward, and then they know the importance of anti-rabies vaccine.
Thank you so much. So through this very program and one-day vaccination drive, we got to know the importance of vaccination for animals, and also they've created an awareness on where people should vaccinate their pets. For now, this is it. I am reporter Christine Yukeho with camera person Seville for Hornbill TV.
The Aam Aadmi Party-led government will implement the Deba Bhakti curriculum in all public schools across the national capital from Tuesday to install patriotism in students. During his Independence Day address at the Delhi Secretariat, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said that the curriculum will be actively based and it will be a tribute to freedom fighters Bhagat Singh. Kejriwal said that the Desh Bhakti curriculum will help realize the dreams of freedom fighters, and the celebration of Independence Day will cease to be symbolic in schools but will now have substantive meaning. This is not something that will require rote learning. Children will be told about the stories of the nation. There will be discussions about their responsibilities and duties to the nation and how they can be contributed, he added. Kejriwal announced the vision for the Desh Bhakti curriculum on the 73rd Independence Day in 2019. In a previous interview with reporters, Arvind Kejriwal said that the Desh Bhakti curriculum would help realize and live the dream of several freedom fighters. It would even add substantial meaning to the Independence Day, much more than symbolic celebration. Senior leader Navjot Singh Sidhu on Tuesday resigned as the chief of the Punjab unit of the Congress. Man's character stems from the compromise corner, and he can never compromise on Punjab's future and the agenda for the welfare of Punjab, Sidhu said in his letter after resigning. Therefore, he is now resigning as the president of Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee, but he will continue to serve the Congress, Sidhu said in his letter. Sidhu was appointed as the president of Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee on July 23rd. This comes just before former Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh visit to the national capital, who was visiting Delhi after he resigned on September 18. He has submitted his resignation to the Congress interim president Sonia Gandhi. The tussle in Punjab Congress escalated in August. The party's central leadership has sought to bury the hatchet by appointing Navjot Singh Sidhu as the Congress chief, apparently against the desire of the chief minister. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, in its latest study suggested that schools need to be reopened in a phased manner.
The study also said that schools should be allowed to remain open and safe with the appropriate implementation of multi-layered mitigation measures where children participation remain essential. It is essential to realize the impact of prolonged school closures during the COVID-19 pandemic on the overall development of the children, the ICMR study said. Therefore, schools need to be reopened in a phased manner and allowed to remain open and safe with appropriate implementation of multi-layered mitigation measures where children's participation remain essential, the ICMR study said. Published by the ICMR, the Indian Journal of Medical Research is a peer-reviewed open access publication authored by ICMR Director General Dr. Balram Bhargava, Samiran Panda and Tanu Anand. The study observed that school closure in India for more than 500 days have affected over 220 million children as per the UNESCO report.
The cyclonic storm Gulab has weakened into a depression, the Indian Meteorological Department on Monday said. The IMD tweeted that deep depression weakened into a depression at 1,730 hours of the 27th of September and lay centered over North Telangana and adjoining South Chhattisgarh and Vidarbha. Earlier referring to the IMD cyclone alert in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha, Satya Narayan, Pradhan Director General of the National Disaster Response Force, had informed that 13 teams, 24 sub-teams have been deployed on Odisha and 5 in Andhra Pradesh. Dedicating 25 crop varieties with special traits to the nation, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on September 28 said that in the past 6 to 7 years, science and technology is being used on priority for solutions to the challenges in agriculture.
बीते 6-7 सालों में साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी को खेती से जुड़ी चुनौतियों के समाधान के लिए प्राथमिकता के आधार पर उपयोग किया जा रहा है। विशेष रूप से बदलते हुए मौसम में नई परिस्थितियों के अनुकूल अधिक पोषण युक्त बीजों, इस पर हमारा फोकस बहुत अधिक है। हाल के वर्षों में अलग अलग फसलों की ऐसी 1300 से अधिक सीड वैरायटी, बीज की विविधताएं तैयार की गई हैं। इसी श्रृंखला में आज 35 और क्रॉप वैरायटीज देश के किसानों के चरणों में समर्पित की जा रही है। ये क्रॉप वैरायटीज, ये बीज जलवायु परिवर्तन के प्रभाव से खेती की सुरक्षा करने और कुपोषण मुक्त भारत के अभियान में बहुत सहायक होने वाला ये हमारे वैज्ञानिकों की खोज का परिणाम है।
Punjab Chief Minister Taranjit Singh Chani on Tuesday has kept 14 portfolios as ministers were allocated to newly inducted ministers in his expanded cabinet. On the advice and recommendation of Chief Minister Chani, Punjab Governor Panwari Lal Purohit allotted portfolios to 15 newly inducted ministers of the state, the Chief Minister's office said today. Person of the Chief Minister's Office, CM Chandrajit Singh Chani, would hold the portfolios of Personal Vigilance, General Administration, Justice, Legal and Legislative Affairs, Information and Public Relations, Environment, Mining and Geology, Civil Aviation, Excise, Investment Promotion, Hospitality, Power and Tourism and Cultural Affairs. However, the portfolio, if any, not allotted to any of the ministers shall vest with the Chief Minister. While Deputy Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Randhawa was given Home Affairs, Cooperation and Jails. The second deputy, Om Prakash Soni, was allocated Health and Family Welfare, Defence, Services, Welfare and Freedom Fighters. Chani has kept Vigilance, Power, Mining, Excise, Personal and Public Relations with himself. Brahm Mohindra has been given the portfolios of Local Government, Parliamentary Affairs, Elections and Removal of Grievances. Similarly, Cabinet Minister Manpreet Singh Badal has been assigned the Departments of Finance, Taxation, Governance Reforms, Planning and Program Implementation. Cabinet Minister Tript Rajendra Singh Pajwa has been given the charge of rural development and panchayats, animal husbandry, fisheries and dairy development. Aruna Chaudhary has been assigned the portfolio of revenue, rehabilitation and disaster management. Sukhbinder Singh Sarkaria has been allotted the portfolio of water resources and housing and urban development. Rana Gurjit Singh has been allotted the departments of technical education and industrial training, employment generation and training, horticulture and soil and water conservation. Razia Sultana has been allotted the portfolios of water supply and sanitation, social security, women and child development and printing and stationery. Vijay Inder Singla has been given the charge of public works and administrative reforms. Bharat Bhushan Ashu has been allotted the portfolio of food, civil supplies and consumer affairs. Randeep Singh Nabha has been given the charge of agriculture and farmers welfare and food processing. Dr. Rajkumar Varka has been given the portfolio of social justice, empowerment and minorities, new and renewable energy sources and medical education and research. Sangat Singh Gilisian has been allotted the portfolio of forest, wildlife and labor. Pargat Singh has been given the charge of school education, higher education, sports and youth service and RI affairs. Armendra Singh Raja Waring has been given the charge of transport and Gurkirat Singh Golti has been assigned the Department of Industries and Commerce, Information Technology, Science and Technology. Moreover, the CM also tweeted that Amar Preet Singh Dual has been appointed as the Advocate General of Punjab. During the launch event of National Action Plan for Dog Medicated Rabies Elimination from India by 2030, Union Health Minister Manshukh Mandavia on September 28 said the ICMR is working on reducing the cost of rabies vaccines. The fight against rabies have to be won by 2030 and it should be a comprehensive effort of Health Ministry and Animal Husbandry Ministry. And it should also include the Ayush Ministry, said the Union Health Minister.
आज हमने नेशनल एक्शन प्लान फॉर डॉग मेडिएटेड रेबीज एलिमिनेशन फ्रॉम इंडिया बाय 2030 का डॉक्यूमेंट लॉन्च किया। 2030 में हमें रेबीज वायरस के सामने जीत हासिल करना है, हमें सक्सेस होना है और उसके लिए वन हेल्थ के साथ होल गवर्नमेंट लगी हुई है। जैसा रूपाला जी ने बताया कि एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव प्रयास होना चाहिए। हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री मिनिस्ट्री, अभी आयुष मिनिस्ट्री भी नहीं है, उसको भी साथ में जोड़ना चाहिए। ये सभी को इकट्ठा करके एक होलिस्टिक अप्रोच से देखने की आवश्यकता आज के समय में है, इसलिए हम सब लोग मिले हैं। केवल हम हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री अकेली प्रयास करेगी, आउटपुट नहीं आएगा। केवल एनिमल हस्बेंड्री मिनिस्ट्री अकेली प्रयास करेगी, परिणाम नहीं आएगा। हम सब लोग साथ में बैठे आपस में यहां हम इकट्ठा हुए हैं, तो रूपाला जी ने कहा कि रिसर्च पर ध्यान देना चाहिए, रेबीज वायरस कैसे सस्ती हो उसके ऊपर काम करने की आवश्यकता है। आईसीएमआर उसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं। वन हेल्थ के लिए कौन लीड करेगा? आईसीएमआर ने एक सेंटर 4 कंट्री में 4 लोकेशन पर सेंटर स्थापित करने के लिए आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। वन हेल्थ के माध्यम से हमें आपस में प्रयोग करके, आपस में इंटर मिनिस्ट्रियल इनिशिएटिव लेके जब हम काम नहीं कर पाएंगे तब तक ये कागज पे रहेंगे, आउटपुट में नहीं आएंगे।
In an endeavour to raise public awareness about the adoption of climate-resilient technologies, Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated 35 crop varieties with special trait to the nation via video conferencing today.
During the event, the Prime Minister also dedicated the newly constructed National Institute of Biotic Stress Management, Raipur campus, to the nation. The Prime Minister presented the Green Campus Award to agricultural universities at the event and held an interaction with farmers who have applied innovative methods.
मौसम के हिसाब से उगाई जाने वाली इन फसलों में न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू भी ज्यादा रहती है। विशेष रूप से जो हमारे मोटे अनाज मिलेट्स हैं, उनका बहुत महत्व है। एक्सपर्ट्स कहते हैं कि हमारे स्वास्थ्य को मजबूती देते हैं। इसलिए आज की लाइफस्टाइल में जिस प्रकार की बीमारियां बढ़ रही हैं, उनको देखते हुए हमारे इन मिलेट्स की डिमांड बहुत अधिक बढ़ रही है। मेरे किसान भाइयों बहनों, आपको जानकर के खुशी हुई, भारत के प्रयासों से ही यूएनओ, संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ ने अगले वर्ष यानी 2023 को इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ मिलेट्स घोषित किया है।
Union Minister of Agriculture Narendra Singh Tomar and Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh Bhupesh Baghel also present on the occasion. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research has produced crop varieties with specific features to meet the twin concerns of climate change and malnutrition. This year, 35 such crop varieties with specific features such as climatic resilience and better nutrient content were produced. Drought-tolerant chickpea, wilt and early maturing soybean, disease-resistant rice varieties and biofortified wheat, burl millet, maize and chickpea, quinoa, buckwheat, winged bean and Faba Bin are among them. The National Institute of Periodic Stress Management in Raipur was established to conduct basic and strategic research, develop human resources and provide policy support in the field of periodic stresses. From the academic year 2020 to 2021, the institute is offering postgraduate studies.
प्रधानमंत्री जी का हमेशा इस बात पर बल रहा कि किसान दया पर नहीं, किसान अपनी दम पर निर्भर रहना चाहिए और इसलिए किसान को इतना ताकतवर बनाओ कि वह स्वयं भी आत्मनिर्भर बने और आत्मनिर्भर भारत के निर्माण में उसका महत्वपूर्ण योगदान हो सके.
Chief Minister of Nagaland, Nipurio, officially launched a senior citizens helpline called the Elder Line 14567 Nagaland on Tuesday at the Chief Minister's residential office. Expressing happiness for the launch of the senior citizens helpline, the Chief Minister hoped that the project would benefit senior citizens to enable them to get the required information and assistance both from state and centre. During the program, Michael Zaren, Director of Social Welfare, informed that Nagaland has 2 lakh senior citizens, out of which 51,750 under the IGNOAPS in the age category of 60 to 79 years and 5,650 above 80 years receive pension. He informed that 5,970 in the state non-planned receive pension.
Today we gave this time to launch the state.
Nagaland and then Elder Line 14567 for the welfare of the senior citizens in our state.
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.